and today we're going to be talking about the solar system. This is a depiction of our solar system. Now, the depiction isn't quite to scale because our solar system is quite huge, but this shows the sun, which is the center of our Earth, our solar system, the 8 planets, and Pluto. We're not going to talk about Pluto right now. We're going to focus on the planets. So the 8 planets that make up our solar system are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. Now let's talk about what makes a planet a planet. This is important to remember so that when we come back to why Pluto is not a planet, we can see why. So it's important to remember that the 8 planets in our solar system are not the only planets in our universe, so we have to have a definition that fits all of them. Scientists define a planet as an object that orbits the sun and is large enough to have become round due to the force of its own gravity. A planet has to dominate the neighborhood around its orbit. So basically, the planet has to orbit the sun and cannot be affected by any other objects in its orbit. Pluto is not considered a planet because it doesn't dominate its neighborhood, and there are many outside objects that affect its orbit. Therefore, Pluto is not a planet. So now we're going to talk about the inner planets and the outer planets. The inner planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. First up is Mercury. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, and its surface is covered with craters, and it doesn't have an atmosphere, which means that the sky is dark all the time. One Mercury year is 88 Earth days. Venus is the second planet closest to the sun, and the only planet that turns clockwise on its axis. Venus is covered by poisonous clouds of gas and has an atmosphere of carbon monoxide. It traps the sun, and which makes Venus a very hot oven. 1 year on Venus equals 225 Earth days. Earth is the third planet from the sun, and our home. The only planet that is known to contain water and life. Earth is geologically living, which means it has volcanoes, earthquakes, and weather. Our atmosphere is mostly nitrogen, which gives us our blue sky. Earth is the largest inner planet and has an orbiting moon. Mars is the 4th planet and is a small red planet. Mars is similar to Earth in that it has a rocky landscape full of craters, its seasons, and its 2 orbiting moons. The largest volcano in our solar system, Olympus Mons, is located on Mars. 1 year on Mars lasts 687 Earth days. Now on to the outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Jupiter is the largest of the outer planets with a diameter of 89,000 miles. Jupiter takes 9 hours and 55 minutes to make 1 rotation on its axis, and it takes 11.9 Earth years to make 1 Jupiter year. Jupiter has 16 moons and is mostly made up of hydrogen and helium. Next is Saturn. Saturn makes a complete rotation on its axis in 10 hours and 39 minutes. It takes Saturn 29.5 Earth years to make 1 rotation around the sun. It has 18 moons, but Saturn's most popular feature is its rings, which are made up of mostly dust, rock, and ice particles. They're probably from a moon that once orbited Saturn. It's made up of mostly gas, so it could float on water. Lastly, Uranus and Neptune. They're considered twin planets because they have many things in common. First of all, it takes both 16 hours and 7 minutes to turn on their axis. They're both made up of hydrogen, helium, and methane. Methane is what gives it the blue tint. The differences are that Uranus has 15 moons. The other interesting thing about Uranus is that it's tipped on its side, probably from colliding with another planet. And then there's Neptune, which has the strongest known winds in the solar system, and only 8 known winds. That concludes our summary of our